Let's call a meeting to order. It's 5 o'clock, right?
I
Yep.
vote to.
All right. Begin with the reading of the open public meeting statement on January 25th, 2023. Notice of this meeting was placed on the official Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency website and emailed to both the Courier Post and Gloucester City News newspapers for publication. The official notice to the Borough Clerk was emailed on January 25th, 2023, which included requests for posting of the notice to the official Borough of Bellmawr website and bulletin board. All requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met in compliance with the Sunshine Law. Brings us to the flag salute. I pledge
I
allegiance
pledge allegiance to
to
the flag
of the United States of
United
America
States of America,
and to the
to the
republic
republic
for
which
which stands one nation
one
under
nation,
God,
under God,
indivisible,
visible
with
and liberty and
liberty
justice for all.
All right, I think that was our best one yet. All right, we'll get the roll call. Chairman Philpeck,
Here.
Vice Chair Ray Bider,
Here.
Commissioner D'Angelo, Commissioner Capados, Commissioner Whitman,
Here.
Commissioner Patel,
Here.
Commissioner Simpson. Management professionals, Josh Tregear, Executive Director. I am here. Agency Solicitor McKenna.
Present.
And Agency Engineer McNulty.
Present.
All right. Standard agenda for this evening. We'll begin with the reading of the minutes. That was for the last meeting last month, August 22nd, 2023.
Come on, make a motion, we accept the minutes.
I second it, Mayor.
All right. Thank you, Neil. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Communications, we've got the redevelopers report, which I had to forward in a separate email. As soon as I got it, I sent it to you guys, so it wasn't included with the main email with everything. And then just a reminder, traffic engineer's report was basically a summary memo that he issued for Q3 at last month's meeting. So we'll look for another update from him in Q4, hopefully with something substantial to discuss as pending that meeting. Any commissioner reports? Please speak up. All right, brings us to executive director's report. Financial reports. Bowman, our auditors, now have all the requested files and documents and reports. So we are in their queue, and they are gonna try to submit both audits together. So we'll look for that at the October or November meeting. Then we'll be right into budget 2024. So we'll look for introduction at the December meeting of that. Admins continue to make a lot of progress with that. And we've implemented the computer check processing. So it eliminates the manual checks. This prints directly from information on the PO. So it streamlines a lot and just, takes a lot of, that's where I'm looking for. Like it takes the data from the POs and just crosses it right over to the checks. So everything's tied together. Professional service contracts, approval to execute was done last month. So wait for those to trickle in and execute them. And of course, we had to advertise those via public notice in the paper, which was done. Any questions for me before I turn it over to Mike? All right, Mike.
All right. Well, we all just got the redevelopers report today, and haven't probably had too much time to digest it completely. I will tell you that it fairly accurately, although not up to the minute, summarizes the activities on all fronts. I just want to touch on a few of them that are highlights to us as to what's in our near future, and then what's in our next step future. The two things that are coming up now are there's a special meeting before mayor and council to discuss, among other things, I think, but principally I understand that it is for the green light to go before the planning board. And the redevelopers agreed to appear, council's agreed to give them a special meeting, and because it deserves that, I think. And that happens, it must happen before we can go before the planning board. That is the second thing that's going to happen. The planning board, because of some issues that we had last month, for the first time since I've been in town, had some quorum issues and some postponements because of those quorum issues. Now, we had a quorum, but we didn't have the super rich majority that we needed for a couple of use variances. As a result, September's regular meeting and October's regular meeting were both very clogged. And we took kind of a straw poll among the planning board, and they too, in principle, have agreed to give the redeveloper a special meeting in October, provided that they clear the green light process with mayor and council. That is yet to be set, but all parties appear to be moving with dispatch. And, you know, even our volunteers, you know, are willing to come in and dedicate a night. Again, the site plan approval, we've seen it in large detail, but the planning board does the nitty gritty work on that. It's worthy of its own meeting. So I think it's a good thing that we do that. That's the near term. Right? Both of those things are coming up in October, but there's more to do because we have some approval and subdivision approval from Deptford, but they've got to get their site plan approval from Deptford. I understand that's pending. They need redevelopment stuff from Deptford, and our governing body and Deptford's governing body have to meet on some collateral agreements, not integral to building, but integral to the dub. The redeveloper will be looking for a pilot, and we are looking for the lion's share of the revenues because we are providing 100% of the services to the Deptford parcel. Makes for a pretty challenging negotiation because there's two viewpoints. We'll get all that done, but it's the process that lies just before us, as does finalizing our Green Acres approvals. We had a preliminary approval from Green Acres. They liked our plan. They liked our the diversion program with the West Deptford acquisition and the park, and they're wiping the slate clean for us from the borough issues that they had unrelated to this site, as well as the borough's discharging the borough's obligations under Green Acres under the developable upland part of the ground that's owned by the borough. So that heavy lifting's been done, but we still have to finalize that. Last thing I think is important is that we have had the redeveloper pay in advance for an insurance policy on all of the parcels, even the ones that the redeveloper doesn't own. And the redevelopment agreement only required $5 million for the subject parcels, including the boroughs. They purchased a $25 million policy, and we vetted that policy through our environmental council as part of the bid. We now, the policy's been purchased. We've got the print in front of us, and I gave it a go over, but I know when I'm out of my element, and we are utilizing environmental counsel at the redeveloper's cost, but our selection of the environmental counsel to double check the policy to make sure it matches the bid. And we are far better off now with a $25 million policy on our own ground. Even though that ground is to be deeded ultimately from council, who will be out of it then in terms of ownership and those issues, but still insured to the Bellmawr. There's lots of other little stuff that's going on a day-by-day basis with traffic, with the state, and all of that. Those are the highlights, and that's really all I have. I've been cued into all of these things, even though sometimes it's principally council with Mr. Long. Howard has kept me posted with developments to his credit, and I appreciate it.
All right.
That's
Any questions for Mike before we move into new business?
Mike, no, yeah, but just think, Mike, I think the meeting was set with council. It's on our caucus in October.
Yeah, and the redevelopers report tells me, although I didn't know it, that it's set for October 10th. So,
Yeah,
so
that's when, I guess when council's
Okay.
going to have a caucus.
that's good stuff.
All right, brings
And
us
then,
to,
and then we're hoping that, you gotta advertise 7 days later, if everything's passed, we can have a planning board meeting in 10 days or something after that.
Yeah, they're gonna have a tight schedule there because it actually requires more than that. And these newspapers have changed their rules about how soon they need it. It has to be published 10 days in advance, but nowadays you've got to get it to the papers like 14 days. So
Well, then we'll do it that way, as long as we
yeah,
live
but
by
well,
the
listen,
rules.
hey,
that's on the developer. You know,
Mike.
we'll be flexible.
Mike, just so you know, I think the regs have been updated that as long as you sent the order or like the email requesting the insertion within the time frame.
Oh, when did
That-
that happen? Gosh, that's big.
Yeah, I think, well, that's how I've known it for years.
Oh, wait a minute. Now you're talking about for a special meeting, but
I'm
the
talking about
redevelop-
just public notice. I
Yes,
know,
but the-
I know, but I'm saying there's different timelines for different things, but I think universally the clock starts tipping based on the timestamp of the request. You might
You're
want to
right.
verify it.
Stay with me. You're
Yeah.
right in terms of scheduling the meeting. However, the redeveloper must issue public notice, and that's non-negotiable.
Okay, I got you. All right.
That has to be published and has to be mailed. Whereas yours, they don't have to publish.
Right,
You just
right.
send the paper, and if they think it's interesting, they'll print it. So
I
it's two different publication requirements.
I didn't know. I didn't realize you were saying
Okay.
the local notification. Yeah. Okay. All right. Brings us to new business. One agenda item tonight. Resolution of the Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency, resolution number 09:033-23, authorizing payment of outstanding bills.
I make a motion that we pay our bills.
All right. Thank you,
Second
Mr.
it.
Whitman. Neil, did I get you on the second?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Neil. It's roll call. So, Chairman Philpott,
Yes,
Vice Chair Bider,
Yes.
Commissioner Whitman,
Yes.
Commissioner Patel.
Yes.
All right, gentlemen, that concludes new business and brings us to the public portion. I do not believe anybody's on, but again, I'll give it 3 seconds or so. All right, that concludes the public portion and brings us to an adjournment.
before we adjourn, I want to thank everybody for coming during the meeting, and Mike, I want you and your wife to have a safe trip.
Thank
I
you, man.
have a great time.
Appreciate it.
Where are you going, Mike?
Spain and Portugal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We planned it a couple of years ago. COVID wiped us out, and we tried to get it back on the books and finally did. So
Yeah.
we're psyched.
Yeah.
Have
Cool.
fun.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
psyched.
That's good.
Thanks.
Just
All
need a motion on the adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
All right.
Second.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bider. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any nays? Ayes have it. Meeting's adjourned, and see you guys in a month on October 17th.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
See you guys.
Thanks.